Welcome, everybody, to the Puck Drops here. We have the new GPA grading for the National Hockey League, the Nashville Predators. We're going to grade, they were a team that won the division in the playoffs, but we'll grade them, we'll grade the players, we'll grade the positions, and the final GPA and final grading put in as I've been doing for these videos. Next one, of course, we talk about this team. I'll also give you updates on the Colorado Avalanche Sharks, and we have one right now just as we are coming live to you. There's 4:01 left in the second period of Game 3. It's been 2-0 Sharks, but Nathan MacKinnon just scored a goal off the post, beating Martin Jones. It's 2-1 them. So let's go to the standings of the Nashville Predators. 47-29 and 6 overtime losses for 100 points. And for that, it is the second straight Central Division championship for the Nashville Predators. So that's definitely something they improved on that side. Now we'll look at the players. And of course, we go centers first. We look at the former Penguin, Duck, and Canuck, Nick Bonino. He played in 6 games in the playoffs, obviously, all 6 games in the playoffs. Only 2 assists, 2 points. For the regular season, he played in 81 games, scoring 17 goals, notching 18 assists and 35 points for Nashville. Second center, of course, Brian Boyle, who had started the season in New Jersey, a 34-year-older, 6'6", large forward, playing in 73 games, scoring 18 goals, 6 assists, and 24 points. Good for Boyle because he's not as young as he used to be, and playing the way he had been, but it's that for him. Frederick Gaudreau, a young 26-year-old forward that's played on and off of the Nashville Predators. He played in 55 games this year, scoring 3 goals and an assist, only 4 points. So he's got to improve, definitely. That's the guy you look at. Mikael Granlund, coming from the Minnesota Wild. And a quick update on the game. Never mind. 2019, playing in 79 games, scoring 16 assists, 38 points, 54 points. Most of them coming in Minnesota. He'll improve. He'll adjust to the team and the spotlight later as the season rolls along. Next season rolls along as he'll be starting the season as a Nashville Predator. Rocco Grimaldi is a 26-year-old center that has been in Milwaukee in their system for a long time. He's been playing the last 2 years on a full starting role in Nashville. 53 games played, 5 goals scored, 8 assists, 13 points. Decent, but Grimaldi's going to have to get better and better in a competitive Stanley Cup contending team. Kaya Yarncroke, playing in 79 games, scoring 10 goals, 16 assists, 26 points. Been good for these lower line guys, but it almost seems that they should be scoring more. Ryan Johansson, one of their top scorers, 26-year-older. Unbelievable he's still that young. Former Blue Jacket. He played in 80 games, scoring 14 goals, 50 assists, 64 points. The point total is awesome, but the goal scoring, you got to be scoring more than 14. You got to get into your 20s if you're Ryan Johansson. Rem Pitlick, rookie center. He played 1 game, no points. So I really can't judge anything from him. Also to look at for Nashville, Pitlick did play, but when will they bring in? Excuse me. While I get the player I am thinking of, Eli Tolvanen. When will they get Tolvanen and Pitlick? But that is a whole other story for a whole other day. Colton Sissons, another young forward they've had. He played 75 games, scoring 15 goals, 15 assists, 30 points. Pretty good for a guy that only played half the season. And the last center we'll touch on is Kyle Turris, former Senator. Had a decent year last year. Dreadful playoffs. The playoffs were not good for him this year either, and a bad power play, which was dreadful. That has to change. But a 29-year-older did not have a good season this year. Played 55 games, only scoring 7 goals, 16 assists, 23 points. That has to score. That has to up. He is an excellent goal scorer. He has to revamp that. Because of the inconsistency, I give them a 2.9. I thought the center depth was really good, and they have some of the best centers in the league, but I don't want to put them 3 point anything because some of their lower line guys were too inconsistent, and Turris has to get better. We just look at Victor Arvidsson. Arvidsson for the wing, one of the best wingers in the National Hockey League. 26-year-old, they're undrafted in 2013. In 2011, excuse me, incredible player. 2014. Wait, no. He played 58 games. Sorry, just looking exactly at the stats. He was actually drafted 2014. There's identical. Victor Arvidsson was undrafted. 58 games played, 34 34 goals scored, 14 assists, 48 points for Arvidsson in 58 games. So it's not skyrocket level, but it's a good point. Taylor, we'll bring you right back. A quick update from the San Jose Sharks game. That game has 105 left. A big hit just happened. There's no penalty, but it's still 2-1 Sharks. They're in the Colorado zone. For Forsberg, look at Philip Forsberg, the excellent Swede. 24-year-old, still super young player. He played in 64 games this year, scoring 28 goals, 22 assists, 50 points. Decent output for him in the regular season. I'm going to take a look at Cody McLeod, another winger, 34-year-old winger, former Islander, playing in 38 games, scoring 1 goal and 1 point. So, not much to write home with Cody McLeod, but he's over the hill. He's not as good as a player as he used to be anyway. So, nothing against him, just the way it works out. Zach Ronaldo, another younger player through the system, 28-year-older, 23 games played, 1 goal, 2 assists, and 3 points. That's got to change. That's got to get better. Mikko Salamaki, another player, 26-year-older, and quick update from the Sharks Avalanche game. Just gone on the second intermission, 2-1 San Jose. Mikko Salamaki is played 37 games, 3 goals, 4 assists, 7 points. Normally I'd say the output is horrible, and it is, but he was injured too much. He's got to be more consistent staying on the ice. But that's less him than more that. Wayne Simmons, the former Flyer, he was dealt in the trade, sent Ryan Hartman to the State of Brotherly Love. And you have this 30-year-old winger. He ended up getting new points in the playoffs, but in the regular season, he splitting time with Philadelphia and Nashville. He played in 79 games, scoring 17 goals, 13 assists, 30 points. Pretty decent for a player of his, but it's starting to see that he's getting near over the hill, which will be an upcoming issue. Craig Smith, back 29-year-old forward. He scored the overtime winner in Game 2 in the playoffs, but in the regular season, playing in 76 games, not scoring 21 goals, notching 17 assists, and gathering 38 points. Good amount of work for him, Smith, but not hugely insane. Austin Watson, Michigan-born winger. He played in 37 games, scoring 7 goals, 9 assists, 16 points. So not great for him either. I put the Nashville Predators at a 2.5 on there. But right. So for defense, they had one of the best defenses in the National Hockey League on paper. Statistically, it kind of worked out to some point this year. 80 games played for Matthias Ekholm, their second pairing center, scoring 8 goals and 36 assists, 44 points. A good defenseman and great production. Ryan Ellis, the Hamilton-born 28-year-older defenseman, playing in every single game, scoring 7 assists, scoring 7 goals, 34 assists, 41 points. Good total, but I would have expected it to be higher if you play every single game. Dante Fabro is a young rookie defenseman. He got 1 assist this year and played 6 games in the regular season. Well, no, excuse me. Playing in 4 games in the regular season, scoring 1 goal, which was 1 point, and he's got an assist in the playoffs, and he played in every single game against Dallas. Look at Dan Hamhuis, 36-year-older, the former Vancouver Canuck. He played 57 games this year, no goals with 5 assists, 5 points. Not ever really a goal scorer anyway, but a good player, good outlook on him. Matt Irwin, he comes back a 31-year-older after a previous suspension, and 44 games played for him, 1 goal scored, 6 assists, 7 points. Not terrible. Roman Josi, the captain, the 28-year-old star defenseman, played in every single game this year in the regular season, scoring 15 goals, 41 assists, 56 points. Great, but the goal scoring a little up. When you get PK Subban, the 29-year-older, played in 63 games this regular season, scoring 9 goals, 22 assists, 31 points. Not bad. And then Yannick Weber, 30-year-older, played in 62 games this year, scoring 2 goals, 6 assists, 8 points. Not bad, but I'm going to put the defense at a 1.8. Just didn't see it. Didn't see it into the production the way it was. It was there to some point, but not as it needs to be. Take a look at the two goalies, the Finn and the Swede. Pekka Rinne, of course, 36-year-older. How long will he be in the league? We don't know, but he's still playing better than ever. He played in all 56 games in the regular season, starting 55 of them, going 30-19. A good record for Pekka Rinne, and he had 4 shutouts this year. A goal average of 130, a goal per average of 2.42 and a .918. Good numbers, not as good as they were last year, but still playing really, really well. So I like that from Rinne. And then the future standout goalie for the Nashville Predators, Jussi Saros. Another Finn, excuse me, not a Swede, another Finn. 31 games played, 21-7 games started, 17-10, and a .915, just under the save percentage, and a goal average just under Pekka Rinne's. So a really good player. I think that you can't look at the wins and losses. It's a lot better than it looks with the 17-10. And he was thrown in the Wolves in Game 7 last season against the Winnipeg Jets, but he's a great player. And so for the goaltending, I give that a lot of people didn't like the goaltending this year, but I give that a 3.2. I really thought it was a point of strength. A young player that I really like in Nashville, there's a lot. I would probably have to say like a really young player. I would end up saying Rocco Grimaldi. He's got a great scoring touch and get better and better and better. So I like what he's done for the table. And a player needs to improve. I think PK Subban, he seems to be a leader, even though he's not, doesn't wear an A or a C on his jersey. He needs to get to that big time goal scoring assist marker that he was a few years ago for Subban. But he'll improve, and he's going to have to. For management, for coaching, coaches they have are excellent. Peter Laviolette does a great job. I really think the playoffs, though, it had to do with the chemistry was not there because of a bunch of players that had come that new the issue with Matt Irwin back in the lineup. A lot of young defender, Dante Fabro in the games, and a lot of guys like Salamaki and Yankov back again, not sure how to fit them in. And then new guys, Dan Hamhuis and McLeod in the lineup. And when you got guys from the trade deadline like Mikael Graham and Wayne Simmons, just the talent wasn't there, and the talent was there, but the system wasn't fit exactly to the way it was with the chemistry. I think they'll be better in that next year. But you see, definitely a playoff team, obviously. Stanley Cup contender, I think, still. But a lot of things have to be fixed for Nashville Predators. But I think Peter Laviolette did a good job winning the division again after having some issues a lot in the year. I give him a 2.9. For the GPA for general management, David Poile getting a good price on Brian Boyle. Yes, they lost in 6 games to a team that hadn't been in the playoffs for 2 years, 2 whole seasons. But that's not David Poile's fault. So I would put him at a 3.2 because David Poile is one of the savviest general managers in the sport, and he does a really good job for the Nashville Predators. So I put him up there for them. Ultimate GPA, I would put for the Predators at 3.0. They won the division again. They were one of the best teams in the Western Conference, but had issues with a tough defensive team in the playoffs for the second straight year, got bottled down at home for the second straight year, and they're going to have to change something, or culture shock's going to come, because they're no longer the Predators that are playoff series winners or shockers. This is a franchise, even though it is not in the traditional hockey market, built for the long run, built for the championship. I hope you guys like this video. It was a little longer one than most of them, but really going on the Nashville Predators. Hopefully you enjoy that one, and you like, you sub, you follow, and you make comments. Really appreciate it for this channel. The next one is going to be on a team that I have a lot of interest in covering, and a lot of people I know have interest in listening to, because it's my personal squad, the New Jersey Devils, and boy, did they have a rough season. So we'll be talking about that one next. Anyway, good night, everybody, and happy hockey.